Beloved souls, the battlefield of life is not out there, it is within the chambers of your own mind. Every thought you hold, every word you speak, every belief you nurture either builds your inner fortress or leaves its gates open to the storms of the world. Life does not bow to the weak mind. It molds itself around the steadfast spirit. You were never meant to be fragile. You were designed to stand firm, to think clearly, and to command your reality with divine authority. Yet, most people wander through life like leaves in the wind, allowing fear, doubt, and the opinions of others to dictate the shape of their days. The world will test you, not to destroy you but to reveal your strength. When challenges rise like roaring waves, your mind must become the anchor, unmoved by the noise of circumstance. The moment you allow outer conditions to control your inner peace, you hand over your power to the very forces that seek to weaken you. Your task is not to fight the world. It is to master your thought. For once your thought is strong, the world cannot shake you. You must learn to toughen your mind, not in hardness, but in holy discipline. A tough mind is not cold, it is clear. It does not react, it decides. It does not bend to fear, it speaks faith. The truly powerful mind is quiet amidst chaos because it knows the truth. Nothing outside you can harm you unless you first believe it can. That belief is the door through which the world enters to break you. Shut that door with conviction, and your peace will become your fortress. Every day you are given the choice to feed your faith or your fear. When you rise in the morning, ask yourself, will I let the world think for me today, or will I think from my divine center? The world will whisper of scarcity, failure, and loss. It will parade its illusions before you, hoping you will bow to them as reality. But the wise soul knows that appearances are but shadows cast by the light of the unseen. Train your mind to see beyond the veil of circumstance. Affirm, all is well. I am guided, guarded, and divinely provided for. Each time you affirm truth, you strengthen the armor of your mind. If you do not discipline your thought, life will discipline you. The undisciplined mind attracts confusion, fear, and defeat, because it mirrors the chaos it believes in. The strong mind, however, commands order. It knows that thought is creative, and every mental image is a seed planted in the garden of manifestation. You cannot sow seeds of worry and expect to harvest peace. You cannot think weakness and expect strength to appear. As you think, so shall you experience. Toughening your mind is not about resisting life, it is about mastering your response to it. When others complain, you bless. When others fear, you trust. When others quit, you persist. The mind grows strong through spiritual exercise, just as the body grows strong through physical challenge. Every obstacle is an invitation to fortify your thought, to prove your power, to stand unmoved in the presence of appearances. When you face adversity, do not say, "Why is this happening to me?" Say, "This is my opportunity to reveal my strength." Every test is a teacher, every delay a divine design, every closed door a redirection toward something higher. The world breaks only those who resist its lessons, it shapes into gold those who learn from them. The difference lies in how you think. Guard your mind as you would guard your most precious treasure, for it is. Protect it from negative conversation, from the poison of doubt, from the noise of fear. Refuse to dwell on limitation. When the world says, "You can't," smile and think, "Watch me." For the moment you believe in your own divine authority, circumstances begin to bend to your conviction. The strong mind does not crumble when results delay. It understands that the invisible is always working on its behalf. It knows that divine order is never late. It does not need to see the evidence before believing. It believes and thus creates the evidence. The weak mind waits for proof. The toughened mind becomes the proof. If you wish to live a life of peace, prosperity, and power, you must first become master of your own mental world. Let no negative word lodge in your consciousness. Let no fear rule your decisions. Let no external storm steal your serenity. When the world grows loud, retreat into your inner stillness and affirm your strength. Speak life over your path. Declare that nothing and no one has authority over your peace. You are not at the mercy of the world. The world is at the mercy of your thought. To toughen your mind is to remember who you are, a divine being clothed in human experience. You are not a victim of the world's chaos. You are the creator of your calm. The moment you decide to think from truth instead of appearance, the world begins to serve you rather than break you. So discipline your thought. Train your focus. Clothe your mind in faith. Stand tall in the knowing that no force on earth can shake the soul that has made peace with itself. When your mind becomes unbreakable, the world loses its power to wound you, and you become the quiet strength that transforms every storm into serenity. Mental resilience is the foundation of inner power, for without it, every challenge becomes a mountain too high to climb, every rejection a wound too deep to heal, and every delay a reason to give up. Mental resilience is not born out of comfort. It is forged in the fire of adversity. It is the quiet strength that allows a person to walk through storms without losing their song. When life tests you, when the path darkens and the winds rise, it is not the strength of your body or the wealth of your possessions that sustains you. It is the resilience of your mind. A resilient mind bends but does not break, adapts but does not surrender, and learns instead of complaining. The one who has trained their mind to remain steady amidst chaos becomes unshakable, not because the world is gentle, but because their spirit is firm. To build mental resilience, one must first understand the power of thought. Every thought you hold either strengthens or weakens you. A mind filled with doubt is like a house built on sand. The first storm will wash it away. But a mind rooted in faith, confidence, and divine trust stands like a mountain unmoved by time. Resilience begins with awareness of the quality of your thoughts and the direction of your focus. Many people allow their thoughts to drift aimlessly, like a ship without a captain, moving wherever the winds of fear and opinion blow. But the resilient soul takes control of the helm and decides which thoughts to entertain and which to dismiss. This act of inner control is the birth of true strength. The resilient mind does not run from pain, it learns from it. Every disappointment becomes a lesson, every failure a teacher, every setback a sacred opportunity to grow stronger. When the world says, no, resilience whispers, try again. It is not that resilient people never fall. They simply never stay down. They rise again and again until their persistence breaks through every wall. Each time they rise, their mind toughens a little more, and soon, what once felt unbearable becomes effortless. The beauty of resilience is that it transforms weakness into wisdom and suffering into strength. To toughen your mind, you must accept that life will not always be gentle. There will be times when people doubt you, when results are delayed, when confusion clouds your path. In those moments, resilience becomes your greatest shield. It allows you to stay calm when others panic, to trust when others lose faith, to see the light when others see only darkness. Resilience is not about ignoring reality, it is about remembering a higher truth, that no situation is permanent and no difficulty lasts forever. The storms may rage, but they must pass, and when they do, the resilient soul stands taller than before. A mind cannot become resilient by reading about strength. It must be trained through experience. Just as the body grows stronger through resistance, the mind grows resilient through challenges. Every time you face fear and refuse to yield, your inner muscles grow. Every time you remain patient when things do not go your way, you strengthen your emotional balance. Every time you choose peace over panic, faith over fear, gratitude over complaint, you are toughening your mind against the world's trials. The person who masters patience masters power, for patience is not weakness, it is control. It is the refusal to let the outer world dictate your inner state. Mental resilience also comes from belief. Belief in something greater than the visible world. Belief that divine order governs your path, even when it appears uncertain. When you trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should, you free yourself from the anxiety of control. Resilience is born when you stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Show me the lesson." This shift transforms every hardship into an instrument of growth. Life is not happening to you. It is happenings for you, shaping you into the vessel that can carry your purpose with strength and grace. The resilient mind is not easily offended, for it knows its worth. It does not crumble under criticism, because it understands that other people's opinions are reflections of their own minds, not verdicts of your destiny. When you are mentally resilient, rejection does not diminish you. it redirects you. Delay does not discourage you, it develops you. You begin to see every closed door as divine protection, every silence as space for preparation. Resilience turns bitterness into wisdom and impatience into timing. Fear is the great destroyer of resilience, for it weakens the will and clouds the vision. But fear is only as strong as the attention you give it. When your mind is disciplined to focus on truth rather than illusion, fear dissolves like mist before the morning sun. The resilient person does not deny fear, they face it with faith, saying, "Even though I do not see the way, I trust that there is one." This trust becomes a force field around the mind, making it immune to despair. Gratitude is another pillar of resilience. When you choose to give thanks even in difficulty, you shift your vibration from resistance to receptivity. Gratitude turns what you have into enough and multiplies it. A grateful mind cannot be broken, for it always finds reason to rejoice. The habit of gratitude keeps the spirit light and the perspective clear. The person who complains invites defeat, but the one who praises invites miracles. Each moment of gratitude builds spiritual muscle, teaching the mind to remain calm and content regardless of outer conditions. To build resilience, one must also guard the company they keep. Surround yourself with voices that uplift, not those that drain. Protect your peace as you would protect a rare jewel. Words have power, and negative speech weakens the spirit. Choose to dwell among those who believe in growth, who speak life, who remind you of your strength when you forget it. The resilient mind does not seek validation from the world. It draws strength from within and gives encouragement to others. When you cultivate mental resilience, you no longer fear change. You embrace it, knowing that transformation is the law of progress. You stop fighting what is and begin flowing with divine timing. Resilience is flexibility. It is the ability to bend with the wind without breaking. It is not stubbornness, but inner stability. The resilient person does not crumble under the unknown. They rise to meet it with faith, creativity, and calm. A strong mind does not depend on perfect circumstances. It thrives in imperfection. It remains focused when others are distracted, centered when others are scattered, hopeful when others are hopeless. This calm strength is magnetic. It draws success, peace, and abundance naturally. For the universe responds to vibration, not desperation. The resilient mind vibrates on the frequency of trust and determination, and that vibration reshapes every reality around it. Mental resilience is not a single act, but a daily practice. Each morning you wake up, you have the power to choose your thoughts, to train your focus, to renew your faith. Life will not always go according to plan. But resilience reminds you that your peace does not depend on the plan. It depends on your perception. And perception is always under your control. The more you practice this truth, the stronger your mind becomes. Until no storm, no word, no disappointment can shake your calm. Master your thoughts, and the world cannot master you. For thought is the root of every experience, the seed from which every circumstance grows. The outer world is but a mirror of the inner one, a reflection of what you have been habitually thinking, feeling, and believing. If your thoughts are filled with fear, doubt, and limitation, the world will echo those same vibrations back to you. But when your mind is trained in truth, faith, and clarity, life rearranges itself to match your conviction. The mastery of thought is the mastery of destiny. No external power has control over a soul that governs its inner world with discipline and wisdom. The mind is the architect of reality, and whatever picture you persist in holding will eventually harden into fact. Most people live as slaves to their thoughts rather than masters of them. They allow the random suggestions of the world, news, gossip, fear, and opinion, to shape their inner state. They do not realize that every negative word accepted into consciousness is a command issued to the universe. The mind obeys what it is repeatedly told. If you continually say, "I can't," "I'm afraid," "It's too hard," then you are building the very barriers you later struggle to escape. But when you begin to choose your thoughts deliberately, to speak only that which uplifts and aligns with truth, you reclaim your power. The moment you say, "I am in control of my thought," the world begins to lose its hold over you. The power of the mind is infinite when aligned with divine intelligence. Every great change begins not in circumstance, but in consciousness. To master your thoughts is to take command of the creative force that governs the universe. You cannot think lack and attract abundance. You cannot think fear and live in peace. The outer world always bends to the inner pattern. When you hold the image of success, joy, and strength long enough, life begins to mold itself around your vision. The key is persistence, for the mind must be trained just as a muscle must be strengthened. Repetition of truth dissolves the old patterns of limitation and replaces them with new channels of power. To become master of your thoughts, you must first become aware of them. Observe what occupies your mind throughout the day. Notice how easily it drifts toward worry, criticism, or doubt. Each time you catch yourself thinking small, gently redirect your focus toward something greater. Do not fight the thought, replace it. A mind mastered is a mind disciplined, and discipline is born from awareness. The undisciplined mind reacts, the mastered mind responds. When you live by reaction, you are at the mercy of every event and emotion. When you live by mastery, you are guided by divine intention. There is a quiet power in choosing your thoughts before the world chooses them for you. Each morning is an opportunity to set the tone for the day. You can decide to think peace, abundance, and gratitude, and that choice becomes your shield against whatever noise the world presents. Mastery does not mean denial. It means dominion. You may see chaos around you, but you do not allow it to enter you. You may face difficulty, but you hold the thought of victory. The moment you take charge of your inner dialogue, the outer storm begins to calm. Many people believe they are powerless against circumstance, but the truth is reversed. Circumstance is powerless against a disciplined mind. The world is constantly trying to impress its fears upon you, to make you believe in lack, to accept struggle as normal, to bow before appearances. Yet every time you say, "That is not my truth," you break free from the world's hypnosis. You begin to live by divine law rather than by human fear. Mastering thought means knowing that appearances are temporary, and that the unseen power of your belief is eternal. When you master your thoughts, you stop being easily offended, because you realize that others' words cannot harm you unless you give them power. You stop worrying about outcomes, because you trust that your consistent, right thinking will shape them perfectly. You no longer live in reaction to events, you live in creation. The outer world becomes like clay in the hands of your consciousness. It takes the shape of your focus. Think confusion, and you will see confusion. Think order, and order will appear. To master thought is to train yourself in faith. Faith is not wishful thinking, it is knowing. It is the deep certainty that every good thing already exists in the unseen, and your belief draws it into form. Doubt closes the channel through which good flows, but faith opens it wide. The world cannot dominate a mind that believes unwaveringly in divine supply, divine protection, and divine timing. The one who has faith is calm amidst chaos, for they know that the unseen law is always working in their favor. The world's noise will always try to pull your attention outward, to make you chase validation, compare yourself, or fear what is coming. But the master of thought turns inward, where peace resides. They do not need proof to believe, their belief creates proof. The mind that governs its focus is the true ruler of circumstance. You can walk through difficulty untouched if your thought remains anchored in truth. The storm may rage, but if your mind stays fixed on peace, you will walk through the tempest as though on calm water. Words are the tools of thought, and they must be guarded carefully. Speak only what you want to see manifested. Never speak defeat, for it plants the seed of it. Never speak fear, for it invites more of it. Every spoken word is a decree sent into the creative field. The wise person speaks life, love, and abundance, and thus lives surrounded by them. To master your thoughts is also to master your tongue, for speech reveals belief. You cannot separate your thinking from your speaking. Both are threads of the same creation. Mastery of thought also means releasing the need to control others. You understand that every soul creates their own experience through their own mental patterns. You do not impose your will, you bless and release. This detachment strengthens you, for energy wasted on controlling others can now be directed toward building your vision. The mind that trusts divine order does not cling. It allows, it flows, it believes. The truly mastered mind is quiet. It does not need to prove, argue, or compete. It simply knows that truth sustains itself. It sees beyond appearances, beyond setbacks, beyond delay. It understands that all things are moving toward perfect fulfillment in divine time. Such a mind is unshakable, because it is anchored not in circumstance but in consciousness. When you reach this state, the world cannot master you because you no longer react to its illusions. You see life through the lens of divine purpose, rather than human panic. The mastery of thought transforms your relationship with everything: money, health, people, and time. Where others see limitation, you see opportunity. Where others see endings, you see beginnings. Where others fear change, you welcome it as evolution. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the awareness that your thoughts are creative instruments of divine intelligence, and when used rightly, they harmonize all things in your favor. Each time you hold your peace in the face of chaos, you prove your mastery. Each time you choose forgiveness over resentment, love over fear, faith over doubt, you reclaim a piece of your dominion. The world may try to shake you, but it cannot rule you. You have become the calm within the storm, the light that guides your path, the master of your own mind and therefore, the master of your own world. Discipline your mind to see truth beyond appearances. For what your physical eyes behold is only a shadow of the unseen reality working beneath the surface. The world of appearances is fleeting and deceptive. It shifts like sand beneath the feet of those who trust in it. The disciplined mind, however, perceives not with the eyes of the body, but with the eyes of spirit. It looks beyond what seems to be and anchors itself in what eternally is. Appearances may shout lack, loss, and limitation, but truth whispers abundance, order, and divine timing. When your mind is disciplined to choose truth over appearance, fear loses its grip, doubt fades into stillness, and your inner peace becomes immovable. To see truth beyond appearances, you must first understand that the outer world is an echo of the inner one. Every experience begins as a thought, every condition as a belief. The appearance of chaos often arises when the mind wavers between fear and faith. Yet the disciplined mind does not flinch when things look uncertain. It holds fast to truth like a lighthouse in a storm. Truth says that every event serves your good, that divine order is at work even in the silence, that you are guided and protected beyond measure. When you hold this knowing, appearances lose their power to disturb you. The moment you choose truth, the illusion begins to dissolve. The world will tempt you to react to appearances. It will show you bills and tell you that you are in lack, delays and tell you that you are forgotten, illness and tell you that you are weak. But the disciplined mind answers back with truth. My supply is unlimited. My path is unfolding perfectly. My health is whole and radiant. You cannot serve both truth and illusion. You must choose which voice you obey. To see truth beyond appearance is to live by vision rather than by sight. Sight looks at the present, vision sees the potential. Sight observes the obstacle. Vision beholds the outcome already accomplished. The disciplined mind walks by vision, not by fear. The process of disciplining the mind begins with awareness. You must watch your thoughts as a guardian watches the gates of a castle. For every thought allowed entry shapes your experience. When you notice yourself reacting to an appearance, worrying about the future, doubting your worth, fearing loss, pause and correct it immediately. Replace the illusion with a statement of truth. If appearances suggest failure, declare success. If they suggest delay, affirm divine timing. The more you practice this correction, the stronger your mental discipline grows, until your mind automatically aligns with truth even in moments of uncertainty. Discipline is not repression, it is direction. It is not about suppressing thought but about guiding it with intention. The undisciplined mind wanders through shadows. The disciplined one walks in light. You do not have to accept every thought that passes through your mind. You are the chooser, the gatekeeper, the authority. When your mind becomes disciplined, you no longer chase illusions or become disturbed by temporary setbacks. You begin to rest in calm assurance, knowing that truth always prevails. To see beyond appearances also means to recognize the difference between fact and truth. Facts belong to the visible world, they change. Truth belongs to the divine realm, it is eternal. A fact may say you are limited by circumstance, but truth declares that the universe is boundless and you are part of its abundance. A fact may say that something is impossible, but truth reminds you that all things are possible to one who believes. A fact may say you are alone, but truth assures you that divine presence surrounds you always. When your mind is trained to rest on truth, facts lose their hold. They bend, shift, and transform under the power of your faith. Appearances are tests of alignment. They come to see whether you will yield to illusion or remain steadfast in truth. When the storm rises, the disciplined mind does not panic. It remembers that peace is stronger than any wave. When others complain, it chooses gratitude. When others see endings, it perceives beginnings. This inner mastery does not come overnight. It is cultivated through daily practice, through the conscious decision to believe in divine order no matter how things appear. With each test, your mind grows stronger, and the illusions of the world lose their influence over you. You discipline your mind by constant repetition of truth. Affirmations, prayer, meditation, and silent reflection are tools that fortify the inner world. Every time you repeat words of faith and peace, you are training your consciousness to return to truth automatically. Eventually, truth becomes your default state. An illusion has no doorway to enter. When a negative appearance arises, the disciplined mind instantly translates it into higher understanding. It sees opportunity where others see loss, purpose where others see pain, wisdom where others see confusion. Seeing beyond appearances also requires trust in divine timing. The impatient mind wants proof now, but truth unfolds according to perfect rhythm. Just because something is unseen does not mean it is not happening. A seed buried in the soil gives no visible sign of life for a time, yet beneath the surface it is preparing to bloom. The disciplined mind knows this and remains calm during the unseen stages of manifestation. It does not dig up the seed with worry, it waters it with faith. This trust in unseen progress is what allows miracles to occur naturally. The world's illusions are powerful only to the degree that you believe in them. When you cease to give them energy, they fade away like mist. The disciplined mind learns to withdraw attention from what it does not wish to experience, and to give full focus to what it desires. If you continually think about problems, you give them life. If you continually affirm truth, you give life to solutions. Attention is creation. Whatever you focus on expands, so discipline your focus carefully. Look only where you wish to go, and soon the path clears before you. The disciplined mind also practices forgiveness, for holding on to resentment keeps the eyes fixed on the illusion of separation. Truth knows only unity. When you forgive, you release the weight of the past and see others not as enemies but as teachers. Every person, pleasant or difficult, is a mirror showing you some aspect of yourself that is ready for healing. Seeing this truth dissolves the appearance of conflict. The disciplined mind does not dwell on injury, it transforms it into understanding. To see truth beyond appearances, one must also be still. In silence, truth reveals itself. The noise of the world drowns the whisper of divine guidance, but the quiet mind hears it clearly. Stillness is not emptiness, it is clarity. It allows you to perceive the subtle order hidden beneath seeming disorder. When you cultivate moments of inner stillness, you begin to notice that everything around you is connected and purposeful. You realize that even apparent chaos is movement toward harmony. The disciplined mind rests in this awareness and draws strength from it. Disciplining the mind to see truth is the greatest act of freedom, for it releases you from the bondage of appearances. No longer are you tossed by every wave of circumstance or frightened by temporary loss. You stand in quiet power, knowing that behind every seeming problem lies the seed of a greater good. The world may appear to crumble, but truth remains untouched. The disciplined mind fixes its gaze there, on the eternal, the unseen, the unshakable reality of divine perfection. And from that vision, all things are renewed.